it actually gave me a really good sort of overview of this topic. And last weekend I went to climb Trifan, and then this is actually beyond Trifan. Trifan's a mountain in Snowdonia, which just looks pretty much like a lump of rock rather than a mountain. It's sort of sheer rock faces that there's lots of scrambling and lots of climbing without ropes. It's just sort of scrambling up. But over the other side, this is Glider Thatch. And Steve and I, my partner, were about to go and set out to do this. And we'd just done a load of scrambling, a load of climbing to get up and over Trifan. And we were heading down. And he said, oh, there is that route that goes off to our left, and we could come up the left-hand side where you can kind of see it's a more gentle climb. Or we can go directly up what's in front of us, this spine of it. And so sort of hummed and hawed over it and thought, I mean, we've just done a load of climbing, and he said that was going to be pretty bad, but this does look pretty scary. It looks pretty vertical. I wasn't quite sure how we were going to get up it. Anyway, we decided to go for it and set off. But at one point we come, there's sort of these rocks that sort of quite jagged rocks that if you go up them, it's a bit of a sort of a false summit kind of thing. You have to then go down the other side of it to go up the next bit. And so there's a couple of times that we'd sort of approach these. And then we were coming up to, I think we'd just come round one of those. And some guys that had gone over the top, and they were coming down to meet another sheer face. And as I looked at it, I thought, where are we going to go? There's no way around this. This is just a sheer face. And I was sort of stood a bit further back than Steve. And I just went into complete freeze zone and sort of was like, I can't do that. I can't, there's nowhere to hold on to. I can't climb up. And I actually, although I quite like scrambling these days, when I was a kid, I was about 9 or 10, I went and did some rock climbing at school. I was quite a chubby kid, and I had the skinniest friend of mine stood at the bottom of this rock face holding my rope as I was climbing up this rock face, and I did not trust that if I fell she was going to be able to hold me. I would come down and she would go up, and she she wasn't, we were 9 or 10, she didn't have that much tension on the rope, and so I didn't feel that secure in it. And I think since then I've had this real fear of rock climbing. So this sheer face in front of me, sort of, I wasn't thinking consciously about that memory, but there's this kind of this belief inside me and this sort of feeling inside me that comes up. And so I just was, this rabbit caught in headlights thinking, I can't do this. And so I was stood there, not moving, thinking, what are we going to do? We're going to have to turn back. I can't do this. Can't get up there without anything to hold on to. I haven't got any ropes. But Steve carries on a little bit further and says, yeah, this is the way, Joe, come on. And I'm sort of, as I'm moving along, I'm thinking, where are we going to go? We should turn back. I can't do this. And so eventually climb down it and get in front of this rock face. And Steve just goes around the other side of it and walks around to another bit that we can actually scramble up. And so we weren't going to do that sheer rock face, but I had gone into sort of panic zone. And as we sort of went around this rock, I laughed to myself, and because I knew I had this session coming up, and I thought, I mean, that just sums it up really. My expectation was that I was going to have to go and do this, and it just felt so huge. It felt like something that was insurmountable to me, and so I froze. I wouldn't even take any further steps closer to go and have a look at what it was that I could do to overcome this obstacle in front of me. And I think it just sums up really nicely how sometimes when we have this huge thing in front of us and we make it something so high and we put such pressure on ourselves and set ourselves such high standards, actually that can feel so overwhelming that we don't even take the steps closer to be able to get to the point where there might be an obstacle. It might be that we could see the next few steps, but because we think that is so huge, we don't even take those. And so it summed it up really nicely. And there are lots of other sort of ways that these high expectations and being that sort of perfectionist character can be unhelpful to us. It can stop us from doing the things that we want to be doing. There are also some really great traits about being that sort of character that actually allow you to be quite successful. And so what this session is about, what this session is sort of planned to be around is being able to embrace those good qualities and take those steps forward without letting those unhelpful elements and the things that are going to stop us get in our way. And so in order to do that, we're going to dive into those each side of that.